On this episode of In Lifting Color, we talk with Patrick Ford and Elijah Muhammad. We hear about their experience in CrossFit and boxes across the country, as well as learn about their newest organization, Project Onyx, and its goal of decreasing health disparities in the African American community. Okay.
Ready?
Yes, clap it. Hi, I'm Jess.
And I'm Brandon.
And this is In Lifting Color. And today we have a special guest and we will let him introduce himself. Hi!
Hey everybody, what's up? It's so great to meet you guys. I'm super excited to be on here with you talking about the super important stuff. My name is Patrick Ford. I'm a physical therapist slash CrossFit enthusiast living and working in Des Moines, Iowa.
Nice. I didn't know you were a physical therapist. I'm a recreation therapist, so that's another conversation for another day. I won't get into it.
So let's do a little bit more background. Are you originally from Iowa, or where are you originally from if Iowa isn't the place? And then, of course, we know that's where you are now. And then what kind of fitness do you do for yourself besides CrossFit if CrossFit isn't the only thing?
Yeah. I'm actually originally from the suburbs of Chicago. I grew up there until I graduated high school in 2010. And then I moved out to Ames, Iowa to get my undergraduate degree in kinesiology and health sciences. That was from 2010 to 2015. Moved out to Omaha for my Doctor of Physical Therapy degree and then moved back. So I've been in Iowa pretty much for the last 10 years or so. And it's been a great experience so far. I met my wife at Iowa State. We have our young, about 16-month-old daughter. So everything's going great. And as far as my fitness background, I originally in high school kind of grew up mostly being a running athlete, so cross-country track, mostly middle distance type events. And then after high school, I transitioned into just, the kind of bro lifting where you're just like back and buys, chest and tries and all that type of stuff.
Bro reps.
And eventually I was just like, this isn't like fitting my body type or my preference as well as I'd like. So I kind of started doing these like functional fitness type things just naturally. And I started hearing about CrossFit and saw this crazy guy named Rich Froning out there just destroying every event. And I was like, yeah, I like that. That's what I like to do. So I started exploring some more CrossFit style types of exercises. Joined a gym a couple of years ago to get more introduced to it. And now I'm really enjoying the Olympic lifting part of it because it's a new skill for me.
Yeah.
So my personal programming is a little bit heavier on the Olympic lifting, and then I fit in some WODs in and out throughout the week.
Awesome.
Okay.
So how long would you say you've been doing CrossFit?
I've probably formally been doing CrossFit for about 3 years now.
Wow, okay.
But kind of self-programmed for maybe 3 years earlier than that, so maybe 6 years or so now.
Okay.
So being in Iowa for the last 10 years or so, have you traveled the state, widely, like from one end to the other end? And when I'm asking that to see, like, what's the CrossFit climate? Like, have you been to multiple gyms in Iowa to kind of, while we're here, like, see diversity? Is it very, very lacking in a state like Iowa, or is it surprisingly not? Like, so, because we've never been to Iowa to even have an idea.
Yeah, that's fair. I've tried out and kind of seen a couple different gyms. Ames is about 40 minutes north of Des Moines, which is not too far away. But I'd seen some gyms out there, been around. We have plenty of gyms in the Des Moines area that offer CrossFit-style workouts. And that's where most of my experience comes, not too much from like the east side or the west side. But those are the areas where you're probably going to get the most diversity if you do. And from my experiences, it's just not that much. But being in Iowa, you could kind of expect that. I think our population of African Americans hovers somewhere around 4%, maybe 3 to 4. So, I mean, when you go into a gym and you're in a class of 15 people, the expectation is you're probably not going to see a black person there. So mostly reflective of the communities, but from what I've seen of different accounts and kind of meeting new people, there definitely is a lack of representation, especially when you look at the Des Moines area specifically. I think Des Moines has more of like an 11-ish% population of African Americans. So you should expect to see a little bit more, but most of the gyms that have black participants are usually, you kind of expect them to be more welcoming to different diversities. Not in a way where people are like, we don't want them, but more of like, do people feel welcome when they come?
Yes.
They feel like they can enter that space and not feel like an outsider. So Elijah Muhammad, he has quite a few African Americans at his gym. You guys, I know you talked to James Townsend. I think it's like him and one other person. We have another gym downtown that I think caters to a wide variety, not only of ethnicities and races, but people from all sorts of backgrounds as well. So there is some, you have to kind of find it. It's not just an expectation.
Yeah, you have to find the pepper and the salt. Gotta find it.
Yeah, that's right.
I know, it's funny. So the reason we brought you on is because we saw this initiative and we saw a post from a few people in the CrossFit space, and we really want to talk to you about it. So can you tell us about Project Onyx?
Yeah, Project Onyx is a nonprofit organization that Elijah Muhammad and I co-founded. And really, we started the concept back in June of this year, but we weren't really able to get fully started until September. So it's very, very young. And the whole premise is, it's a pretty big one, but our idea is to eliminate racial health disparities. And that's through multiple avenues that we're trying to work on. So I think we're headed in the right direction. We have a few initiatives that are going to lead the way.
Well, let's get your partner in here. All right. So this is perfect timing. So we just started talking about Project Onyx. So Patrick just told us about the program and, the initiative to basically eliminate / decrease health disparities. But we wanted to also know what inspired you guys to start this.
You want to?
Hey, I can start that off.
Kick it off.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're all more than aware of the police brutality that's happening in America, and that's been happening throughout our history. And with events like Breonna Taylor and the murder of George Floyd, especially really sparked a fire. And I think everybody really, it made everybody have to react, especially with everybody being quarantined at the time that was going on. It really brought it to the forefront of everybody's lives. And for us, it wasn't any different. And I really was going through a change in myself that I felt guilty that I wasn't doing what I should to help people, especially people that look like me. And I was kind of sitting there thinking, like, what can I do? Like, I don't know what I can do. I can, volunteer my time, but I want to make a change in the best way that I can do it. And I know health and fitness, so I started researching more about health and fitness and racism in those professions and in those fields, and started to find some stuff that aligns with all the other history that we've learned. And that's when I started to think about, like, how do we just get rid of this? Like, can we get rid of this? Is there a way to get it done? And the first thing I did was contact Elijah, and me and him hadn't really talked very much up to that point. But he was a neighbor of mine at the time, and I hit him up. I said, I have this idea, and I want you on board. Can we talk about it? And literally minutes later, he said, "Yep, come over to my garage."
So with the kids we see on social media currently, how did they get to being with you guys? What was the process of even getting the group you have currently?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll let Elijah take that one.
Yeah, you broke up a little bit. You were just basically saying, how do we get a hold of the kids?
Yeah, how do you have the
get the kids into the program?
Yeah.
Yeah, so at my gym now currently is it's pretty diverse. In the gym, I mean, predominantly white, of course, because CrossFit's predominantly white. Not only that, but I'm in Iowa, so it's just a little, like the demographics a little less here ethnicity-wise for blacks, but it's pretty diverse. And basically, I had a group of kids that I had met, and they were like, "Man, I want to work out," and so I was like, "Hey, listen, come to my gym, help me take care of the gym, just keep it clean, stuff like that, and in return, I'll comp your membership, and I'll give you, and I'll teach you, like, about CrossFit." So not only will I comp your membership, but I'll teach you some of the basics about fitness, about movement, mechanics, and just so you can have them in your back pocket if you ever want to take this path or go on this path. And, along with that, like, whatever you need, I got you. Like, I'll support you. And, if you just help me just basically clean the gym, take a little load off of me and help out, and you can work out for free. And they were like, "Yeah, man, we're in." And so they basically come to the gym every day and train and work out. And so once we got the Project Onyx thing, I told Patrick, I was like, "Hey, don't worry about anything. Like, I got these high school kids at my gym. I'm going to make them do the footwork. They're going to bring in the kids for us. Like, they're going to go get the kids." We both work jobs. We both have families. So I knew it would be kind of tough to kind of get out in the community and go speak to people regularly and stuff like that. But I knew we had a vision, and I was just like, we just got to get it going. And if we need to do that, I'm free. I'll make myself free, because, like, I can kind of make my schedule how I want to. So I told these kids, I was like, "Hey, basically, you bring me kids, you get paid. Like, I'll take care of y'all. Like, like, I got y'all, because y'all going to be kind of the guys that are going to be running Project Onyx down the line anyway. So
Right.
I'll take care of you." And so these kids just went out and just swooped up all their high school friends from, like, I think they're all from, like, 3 or 4 different high schools all over town. People they know, started messaging, DMing people, bringing them to the gym, and I was just like, perfect, like, this is it. So literally, they're all friends, or they're all in communication with about 3 or 4 kids that were already at my gym. They just know them through, high school football, wrestling tournaments, whatever it may be. And, they just keep spreading the word. So now that we got a core group or big group, those kids go tell their friends, and those kids go tell their friends, and they're enjoying it, man. They're having fun.
Yeah.
They want their kids to have fun with them, and so it just keeps spreading.
Yeah, which is basically the CrossFit way, right? It spreads once you get into it, and it's funny because it brings up an interesting point that everybody has been, well, not everybody, a large number of people say the reason CrossFit isn't as diverse is this idea of the cost, right? It's this thought of like, well, it's too much. People maybe that don't have enough money, of course, then stigmatizing that Black and brown people don't have enough money to do it, but also not thinking of the ways that, we can get people involved, and it's not always about the money. Like, just thinking about you saying, like, "Hey, clean my gym." Like, how many times do other gyms have a bartering system? Like, work the front desk a couple hours a day, you get a free membership. Come do, clean up, you can get a free membership. I need childcare in the gym, you can get a free membership. Like, it's not always about this idea. And it just made me think of that, because I feel like that's always the first thing people say is that, well, CrossFit's so expensive, that's why it's not as diverse. And it's like, but there's other ways people can contribute to the gym that's not financially, that we could increase diversity in the space.
Here's how I look at it. A lot of people, gym owners and stuff like that, like, you own your gym, you make the rules. Like, you make the call. If you want your gym to be diverse, you can do it. You can go get some college kids, some high school kids, some Black kids, or whatever, to diversify your gym. That is completely up to you. You can give them free membership, you can give them discounted memberships.
Yep.
That's completely up to you. The reason why I say this is because a lot of people are like, "Oh, well, if I give a free membership to this," no. People pay memberships at my gym because they can afford a membership and they know the cost of what they're paying for.
Right.
Quality coaching, They have a clean facility. They're enjoying the workouts and programming. They're getting stronger and fitter. They want to pay for that service, no matter if I let some kids come for free.
Yep.
They want to pay for the service because they want to support you or whatever your cause is in life, what you're doing. So when people say like, oh, I don't want to give away free memberships, like that's exactly what you need to do.
Yeah.
That's exactly, you need to go find the kids that maybe can't afford it, but know if you give them a free membership, it would drastically alter their lives and the things that they do on a day-to-day basis. And that's how you diversify your gym, because you are in control of doing that. If people don't want to do that, I get it. You got to make your money. You got to make sure you're paying your bills and stuff like that. So I get it the other way around. But like the whole money thing about the gym, I get it. Like I'm a gym owner. I've ran multiple gyms, and I understand the aspect of it may be too expensive. That is one of the reasons, because it is an extracurricular activity. And the reason why I say that is like, if my kid said, hey, Dad, I want to do CrossFit, I have the financial freedom to be able to afford for my child to go to CrossFit.
For sure.
Would I put him in CrossFit? Absolutely not. That's just me speaking. No, like you're going to train at home with me, because I have the resources, right?
Right.
To train my kid and teach him, but at the same time, it's like you're not going to go to college doing CrossFit. Like you're not. You know what I'm saying? So, in a lot of these kids' minds, in their parents' mind, even if they did have the extra revenue to pay, the extra income to pay for a membership, it's like, what is it doing for my child? He plays football, so that means he does work out, he trains, he has a high school gym that he can go to for free. We can go to the YMCA and you can do those same things for a lot cheaper and have more activities to get into. Why am I paying for CrossFit? And so it just becomes like, I see why these kids, young kids or black kids, are not getting into CrossFit, or even in their middle ages, where it's just like because society has a lot to do with, we're already behind. Now I'm going to spend $150 or $130 on an extracurricular activity that's going to pretty much do nothing for me, but hopefully make me fitter, lose weight, gain some strength.
Right.
So I understand why the people say that. That's not the only reason why we don't do CrossFit.
Right.
But there's also people that can afford it. There's also people that would love to pay that money for coaching and fitness. So you just got to find a way to get in front of those people. And if you don't, then you lose out on diversifying your gym and making it actually inclusive.
Yeah, I think that kind of tells into not only like people can afford it. Like, there is pretty much widespread data that shows on average African American families have less household income. But it's like that's not the only reason why they might not show up to your gym, right? We also have to consider, like, do they even feel like they're welcome in that gym? Like it's a space that they can enter without being judged or feeling like an outcast. And if you guys have followed the Black at CrossFit Instagram page, you know that there are tons of people, not only black folks, but other people of color and other people of other backgrounds that are seeing these things and experiencing themselves. So it's like you have a responsibility to make your gym be more welcoming for everyone, right? And you can't just say like, oh, we do welcome everybody. Yeah, we know that. You're CrossFit. We get it. Community. Like, cool. We know. But like, how are you showing that?
Right.
Like, on all of your Instagram posts, how are you showing that?
Right.
Right? And like, are you engaging with the community that you need to engage with?
Right.
People know that you're invested in them when you give them your time and your resources, whether that's your time, your money, whatever else it is.
Yeah.
So that's what gyms need to do to capture the people that can afford it and are maybe thinking about it. But maybe kind of they showed up and nobody really paid attention to them or gave them the attention that they needed because they're new to the whole process. And they're like, well, I'm not going to stick around here.
Right.
So many stories of people going for the first time and being like, yeah, the coach didn't even help me.
Right.
Or they didn't even say hi to me. Or they didn't invite me to extracurricular, after workout activities. It's like, these are the things you need to do.
I never shared my story. I was gonna send it to Black at CrossFit, But I never shared my story about when I first started CrossFit. Do you hear me?
Yeah.
When I first started CrossFit. So basically, I would go to gyms, and a lot of people don't know, but I train with Frony. And so if we were traveling, I would go to the gym, and basically I would be the first one in and say, hey, was wondering if we could get some training time. I got the one of the fittest men in the world in the car, but Frony never wanted to come in because he didn't want to, impose or just kind of like people, oh my goodness, his shoes, take pictures. And we just kind of wanted the space off to the side when you come in and knock some training out. And basically, my coach told me if someone doesn't talk to you in the first 7 minutes of you walking into a gym, if someone does not greet you, leave. Or stay there and ask them, where's the next closest gym? And so I adopted that because he was like, this is CrossFit, this is inclusive, this is what we do. We treat everyone the same. We welcome everyone. And when someone walks in that gym, you go greet them. And that's how I learned about CrossFit. That's like what my upbringing in CrossFit. So that used to happen. And literally, I'm pretty sure if anyone ever remembers me, I don't know if they remember me from when I was like not known, but I've walked in some gyms before and no one spoke to me and I was out of there.
Wow.
Or someone spoke to me and I was like, hey, is there any other gyms close by? Because I see you guys are pretty busy right now. So, me and Froning are going to go look for a gym.
I'm going to take this guy Froning and we're going to go somewhere where someone talks to us in 7 minutes.
That's it.
Wow.
That's crazy. Let's hop back to Project Onyx, though. And we all saw the CrossFit Games, and we saw their commercial spot with their whole scholarship program in Atlanta. And we
had feelings.
We wanted to ask you, do you feel like your program is what they're trying to accomplish? But then I want to double up on it. Did you guys reach out to them and be like, yo, we have this idea, let us head it? Like, was that ever in your thought process to like try to be the program that CrossFit funds to do this so that then you have unlimited resources, or you just wanted to do it on your own?
I could tackle that first question about if we feel like we are the program that CrossFit is trying to implement. And I think their intentions are great, and it sounds like something that should be happening. Our whole goal, like I said, is to eliminate health disparities. One of the ways that we do it is what you guys see is our youth empowerment program, where we take kids into the gym, preferably teenagers that have a little more movement experience, and try to teach them fitness and get them fit. But we also spend the first pretty much half of the session having a conversation with them.
Yeah.
So we just start off by asking them, like, something as simple as, like, how are you doing today? Or something as complex as, how do we instill anti-racism into our communities? So we're trying to build qualities in these young men and women that help them figure out who they are as a person, how they can help their communities, how they can grow and be more independent and be more thoughtful and empathetic, as well as get healthy, get fit in the meantime. So just for our youth empowerment program, I think it has a little bit different direction than what CrossFit is doing, because we're trying to give them the tools and be with them day in, day out. Like, they can come, be in our program for as long as they want. And then eventually, like Elijah kind of hinted at, is like, we want to grow them into the program.
Right.
So we want them to eventually be the mentors for the next group, right? So that they can teach these qualities and that they can practice leadership themselves. And actually, we just recently started our mentorship program, and we have 2 young adult participants that are looking to get into both strength and conditioning and physical therapy.
Wow.
So our goal is to give them the tools on how to learn how to either get into school or get the credentials that they need, get some more experience and exposure, while being led by somebody who looks like them and can show them how to navigate those spaces as a person of color. Especially in a place like Iowa. So we have a lot of different things that we want to do.
Yeah.
But I think that could definitely be a component of it.
And I think that's that's a big key difference, because I think it goes back to what everyone's saying is that, well, CrossFit doesn't say Black people can't be here, but we're saying come join. But there's also something to be said on more of just giving a scholarship to people to do something, but then also having those conversations to be like, we see you, we know what's happening in the world, and be able to facilitate those conversations to say, listen, this isn't easy, but this is the space we have, and let's talk about it. Because I think I'm curious on how they're addressing that component. Like, hey, we have the scholarship, come do CrossFit. Well, period.
You gotta remember, they got, I don't know him very, very personally, but they got Chuck Carswell.
Yes.
Helping out. And, just from what I know about him, stand up dude. Like, I used to be so happy to go to regionals because he was the guy leading us.
Yeah.
That was, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was the guy. He was like, you're the top dude and you're a Black dude. So, like, all the respect goes to you, you know? So, I thought that was super cool that, they had Chuck Carswell for that. I don't know what they're actually doing, but I'm pretty sure Chuck Carswell is having those wherever it may be and help assist them to give back to the communities to the Black community and help them in times where, as they said, CrossFit might be the one thing that changes these kids' lives. Mm-hmm. So I would like to see CrossFit do a lot more. I would like to see them step up and do a lot more. I just sent them an email a couple of days ago. I'm going to reach out to Eric Rosa soon, hopefully. I know he's super busy. His schedule's probably like crazy. So, I don't want to be too direct or take up too much time, but with their platform and what they're capable of doing, they need to be doing more than me.
Yeah.
And me and Elijah had the conversation where it's like, if you're going to move, like, we have to move now on these opportunities because that's the forefront of people's minds.
Yeah.
Like, one of the emotions and thoughts I had when George Floyd was murdered, all the aftermath for the following week or two was like, okay, like when is this going to blow over and people are going to just stop caring again? And we're still in a little bit a wave of people still caring and it still being at the forefront with everything that has been going on and our political atmosphere right now, that I think it's still at the forefront of people's minds.
Yeah.
People are still trying to be actionable, but maybe they're not having the know-how to just thrust themselves into those situations. So if we can provide that situation for them to back up a program that we think has a lot of potential and is doing a lot of good right now, then now is the time to do that. It's like, you said and you made this claim that you're going to be this group and this incorporation. It's like, okay, like, we'll put the ball in your court. Here's the opportunity. Let's see what you can do with it.
Yeah. No,
and listen, I will stop. If they said, hey, Easy, we want you to head over this, I will stop everything I'm doing and I will head over it.
Right.
If that's what it took to help the community and bring in more, I will stop everything I'm doing and I will head over that project for CrossFit.
Well, that's been a big conversation about who are the people leading the charge of trying to, like you said, all right, we've changed leadership, we're going to do these things, but trying to think of like making, hopefully, that the people at the front of the table or at the head of the table, like, does it reflect like who you're trying to get? And I kind of had said this to Patrick earlier, like thinking about sometimes it's not only who's in your class, but who's in front of your class. Who are these like coaches? Just the same as CrossFit. Who's at the front of the charge here, and how can we diversify that? Because I think it'd be great, Easy Muhammad in the front of like leading this charge, because it's like, okay, like, how does this go from being performative to being like, no, we are truly want to have this conversation, this dialogue, and make this change. So that would be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, if they can come out here and give some of our youth participants at CFL 1.
Right.
And then we could introduce them to other gyms, and then now we have representation at other gyms where the coaches are actually people of color or people from diverse backgrounds and underrepresented groups and populations. And it's like, okay, now we can show people that maybe they'll feel more welcome just because they see somebody, especially somebody in a position of leadership.
Yep.
And that's part of what we want to do is put these kids in a position of leadership, and whatever opportunity it takes to do that, then that's what we want to take advantage of.
Yeah.
And I do want to comment on another part that we're trying to introduce into our program is more of called an Onyx affiliation. So we're trying to get groups of CrossFit gyms to join in on our mission by offering discounted packages to underrepresented and underprivileged people, as well as participating in anti-racist activities or volunteer opportunities that engage them with the community and shows that they are an ally and that they're willing to help, and they're a place where people can feel welcome, and a place where they can feel like, I don't know where I can go, but I know this is a good place for me to be, and I know that they have my back just because they are affiliated with Project Onyx. So hopefully we can start implementing something like that within the next few months. But I think that's another way. It's like, let's join as a community, and we say we are, and show that we're committed to this aspect of our community, that we're not neglecting them.
That's awesome, and I think I know a gym that would like that. That sounds really cool, because I think it's nice to have that stamp of like, all right, they are with Project Onyx, because it kind of goes back. Someone said once when they go onto I know I have a lot to say. When they go onto Google to look up like CrossFit gyms near me, like if you are, we've gone to gyms in Indiana, and it's always like, all right, well, it's gonna be just me and you. How will we know? Like you said, they're gonna have that 7 minutes that they're going to talk to us. So if there was a gym that we could see like, oh shoot, they got a Project Onyx banner, like, okay, well, all right, let's check them out, because sometimes that's just what you need when you're a Black person traveling trying to just get your fitness on.
CrossFit Green Book. You just go to the directory and find the gym closest to you.
Yes.
That's what we're trying to get it, man.
Yeah.
Now, the kids that you guys work with, like the kids you currently have, what are their backgrounds? Are their backgrounds coming from a struggle? Do they need more out of Project Onyx than just the gym membership? Do they need out of the gym type of activities and mentorship?
I'm more of the interacting, talking, joking, playing, but keeping it real. Patrick's more of the, okay, let's sit down. What do we need? Like, what are you needing so that we can assist you and help you with it?
Yeah.
And it balances out really well to where he's more of an observant person. When he looks and sees how the kids are reacting emotionally, where they're at, he's asking the serious questions. And I'm more making sure the kids are working out, having fun, enjoying, listening to good music, and energetic, but staying positive in what they're doing. So it's a really good balance. As far as mentorship, Patrick's about to take off with the mentorship program, and putting me in the place where I'll mentor them in certain areas, and he'll mentor them in certain areas. Once we complete our templates and things like that, the programs. So we're going to be doing a mentorship, and then we're trying to bring other people on in different professions that look like them, just get them around to where these kids can see, maybe someone that may be a lawyer or maybe own a restaurant, maybe in a car dealership. We don't know, just any other profession around our area that we may have contact with, so that they can mentor them, interact with them, and help them as well as us. But yeah, man, they're just kids, man.
Yeah.
They just need the attention, man.
Right.
Like, they need someone that looks like them that will tell them, like, hey, yo, I love you and I care about you. I want to see you do well. Like, and I'm here with you. I'll go through the struggle with you.
Yeah.
And that's what we're here to do on the initial. And then as we continue to make it grow and build it, we have aspirations to make it much bigger and to reach out to other communities and other areas.
Yeah.
And something that Elijah had a great idea to implement is creating separate LLCs from our nonprofit that we can create jobs for these kids that they can have their own income.
Wow. Yeah.
So even like a part of having independence in your health is having independence in your financial situation.
Mm-hmm.
If you can control your finances, you get to control the track of your health.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One way that we could do that is by, like, if we want to open up a car detailing shop, and it's like, yeah, if you're old enough, we can employ you. We can get you another way to get money in your pocket so that you can take care of yourself, take care of whoever else you need to, and gain some independence as well as experience working.
Right.
And all of that would be possible through, getting people to recognize what we're doing and expanding our services so that we can reach more people and really build all the facets that affect somebody's health and well-being, mentally, physically, all of that. So, yeah, we have a lot of different things that we want to do, and it's a big undertaking, but we've talked about this, like, it doesn't work any other way than to teach them how to be healthy, develop independence for them, trying to educate our communities through workshops. We're doing a workshop tomorrow.
That's awesome.
Doing representation, so trying to give them mentorship and get them in these professions so that they can be a guiding light for other people and take over the mantle from us and do it better than us, because we're new. We don't know what we're doing most of the time. We're kind of just like, let's just figure this out. But they're going to understand it because they're going through it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, we'll get to the fun stuff because we talked a lot about things going on, and we did want to talk about this opportunity that you guys are doing for kids. How do you see this promoting diversity in your gym with the adults? And also, how do you see, and this may be a loaded question that we can't take on in 5 minutes, but how do you see the potential for diversity increasing in competitive CrossFit spaces?
So I'll start off in the competitive CrossFit space. In the gym, I'm going to just tell you straight up, it's up to the affiliate owners. It's completely up to the owners. CrossFit has no say-so in anything. The more you post about, your gym being diverse, showing diversity, going out and finding people. One of the things that I used to do and that I'm about to start doing again is I go on Facebook, look at the event page, and just find events in the area. And you'll see different events. A black person's hosting this event, or they're having this Mexican night here. You know what I'm saying? And just going, hey, I just got time. I'm going to go hang out here. And what am I going for? To build my gym, to interact with people, talk to people, and just, spread the word, as well as, have some fun and, hang out. So that is up to the affiliate owner to build the gym in this space. As far as CrossFit on the competitive side, CrossFit has to do better at showing Chandler Smiths, right? Like, the guy is a stud. Like me personally, I think he's the best of all of us that I've seen, of all the black guys that have been to the CrossFit Games. I think Chandler is by far the best. If he can get his movement a little bit better, his mechanics a little bit better, right? I gotta give him a hard time. But it's like, why isn't he marketed more? Like, you know what I'm saying? Why isn't he celebrated more? He stands out so much. It's like, put him on the front page, like, post about him. And they've been doing much better about that. So
yes, they have.
They've been doing much better about that. So there's no argument there. But then on the flip side, it's like the brands. Right? So when you see CrossFit as a whole, and it's just like, black dude, but then you see all the brands, and it's like, where's it at? Like, where's the, you know what I'm saying? Like, where's, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if it wasn't for CrossFit, I wouldn't be seeing Reeboks. After Allen Iverson was out, I was like, Reebok. Like, there's no reason for Reebok. So it's just like, Reebok never made that statement. They never put that person there. They never showed that. Why do most, as soon as Nike came on scene, every black athlete was wearing Nike. Because Nike showed that diversity. They invested into it. They don't shy away from those issues and those problems, and they stand firm in what they believe. But you get a lot of these brands, you don't see it. So I think once CrossFit starts doing it more, it will trickle down. There will be a trickle effect where everyone will start doing it, and it'll become more celebrated. And like we'll see this, and then these kids will see it, and people will see it, and that will engage them to get into CrossFit and to be competitive in it and to try to do it or find a way to do it, which will then put more diversity at the CrossFit Games.
Yeah.
As far as like just like I said, like people going to CrossFit Games, like you got to earn it. One, but two, it's just why am I going to do it?
Right.
Like just imagine a LeBron James.
Yeah.
You either got basketball, football, or CrossFit.
Yep.
Like you can treat to CrossFit. You
Mm-hmm.
can play basketball or play football. It's like I'm not touching CrossFit. I'm gonna do everything I gotta do to be the best basketball player I can be.
Right.
CrossFit has nothing to do with that. Right.
That's accessible too. Yeah.
So I think that's where once CrossFit starts to market it more, the brands start marketing it more, and then that kid will see it. Like like that kid will see a Chandler Smith Nike shoe.
Yeah.
And then be like, yo, like I got these shoes.
Right.
They're the Chandler Smiths, they're the Nikes, and yo, I can't wait to get to the gym and do some CrossFit, you know what I'm saying, do some working out. So I think it will continue to grow. Right now, I do see CrossFit I see a lot of people going down the right path, right? But I just think they could be a little bit more aggressive with it. I think these, like you got the financial backing, you got the power, go in, like do it.
Yeah.
And that's just what I want to see from these big brands, these big companies. I want to see you go in. I want to see you full throttle, like do it, like stop holding back. Because the more you hold back, the more we're gonna keep gunning at you, man.
Oof. Well, that ended abruptly. Please feel free to ask us if you have any more questions, and look out for Project Onyx's newest ventures and the great things they're doing. Patrick and Elijah are making moves, and they are making them quickly.
Ooh, got the hookup now.
Thanks for tuning in. Lift and love all day, every day. Like and subscribe.